Good afternoon to everyone. I'm Malathi from the Department of Mathematics, Snsce College of Engineering. Today I'm going to say about testing of hypothesis. First of all, we should know what is hypothesis. A hypothesis is an assumption about the population parameter. A parameter is characteristic of the population like its mean of variance. The parameter must be identified before analyze. That is, if you want to, in real life we can say, if you want to run a business, before seeing the happening things, we can assume, we can expect our range of profit, or we can accept, or we can assume the range of acceptance of loss, or how our business should run in an average way. That are all called assumption. That assumption in mathematical terms we say it as a hypothesis. Testing hypothesis. A hypothesis is an assumption about population parameter which is to be tested. For we collect the sample data, then we calculate sample statistic, and then use this information to judge whether hypothesis value of population parameter is correct or not. We should know what is population and what is sample. Suppose if you are considering our human body, the total quantity of blood is nothing but population. For taking some small quantity to check the group of our blood is called sample. So from the big thing, if you are taking a small thing, means it is called sample. The overall term is called population. To test the validity of assumed hypothesis value of population, we gather sample data and determine the difference between hypothesis value actual value of the sample mean. Then we judge whether the difference is significant or not. The smaller difference, the greater likelihood that our hypothesis value of mean is correct. In hypothesis testing, the first step is to state, assume or hypothesis value of the population parameter. The assumption we wish to see is called null hypothesis. The symbol of null hypothesis H0. The null hypothesis is, we can state that as an assumption to be tested. For example, we can assume as the average weight of the semester two students is 58 kgs. Begin with the assumption that the null hypothesis is true. The alternative hypothesis is the opposite of the null hypothesis. Usually this is denoted by H1. We can say it as in an example, the average weight of the student is not equal to 58 kg. Already we have taken as mu equal to 58. Here we are taking the opposite way of null hypothesis. That's why we are taking here mu not equal to 58. Procedure of hypothesis is set up the hypothesis, set up the suitable significant level. Then we should know what is suitable significant level. Usually we are taking 5% or 1% is our suitable level of significance, but we can take any level of significance. Suppose for example I am saying 5% is a level of significance for the given data, means 5% of the chances are there to reject our hypothesis. Otherwise we can say in other way we can say that as a 95% chances to accept our null hypothesis. This is the selecting the significance level. Then the third step is determination of suitable test statistics, whether we have to choose Z test or T test or chi-square test. For T test, if we are having the words of mean proportion difference, means we have to go for T test. If you are having variance, means we have to go for chi-square F test. Determine the critical value from the table. Step 4 is determine the critical value from the table. Step 5 is we have to doing the computation check. We have to check the sample result. Finally we have to take the decision with the comparison of calculated value and table value. If we are having calculated value is less than the table value, means we can say our null hypothesis accepted. Otherwise we have to say null hypothesis rejected. This then we are having type 1 error and type 2 error. When a statistical hypothesis tested, there are 4 possible results. The hypothesis is true, but the test is accepted. The hypothesis false, but our test rejected. The hypothesis is true, but our test rejects it. By the hypothesis is false but our test accepts it. These are the four types we are having. Rejecting a null hypothesis when it is true is type 1 error. Accepting a null hypothesis when it is false is called type 2 error. These are all the things about hypothesis. Thank you all.